right, welcome back into the team effort. Year in review. Happy Wacky Wednesday, everyone. I'm Syrian and Hunter Biden freedom fighter Ed Kavalee, and here with me is our producer and fact checker, producer Jay. Hello, Jay.
Hello, Ed.
Yeah, hit me with some Liberation theme music, please, Jay Al-Assad.
You bet.
Yeah, our first guest today is now like a marathon runner and stuff. He used to post gags about life-size pigeon women shitting on his car, and now he and Merrick Watts are in a battle over who can run the furthest and sweat the most. He's not on the buses, he's on the balls of his feet, cranking out the Ks. Last promoting Twister, the album on Instagram, it's Ross Nobel.
Oh, hello.
Oh, our second guest today wrote a movie while I was doing Ross's intro, the inventor of the legendary Golden Mile radio promotion, and a future professional golfer. He believes this intro has gone on way too long. We're spinning our wheels with Mr. Tommy Gleisner.
Thank you. Hello.
Our final guest today just passed 2,000 followers on Blue Sky. That makes him their largest account. Ladies, his Mercedes fits 4 in the back. What the hell is the blackmail boogie? What the Jesus is Twinkle Digits? And what the Xenu is Tony doing promoting it? What happened when Tony went on tour as a musician? Pause for effect. Tony is touring as a musician. Please welcome the newest member of Shawwaddy Waddy. It's Tony Martin.
It's too hard to explain.
What's happening?
Twinkle Digits is, well, no, that's a bloke who's in Damien Cowell's Disco Machine. He's got a solo act,
Right.
literally playing all the instruments himself. I'm just promoting it. I'm not part of the Digits Machine. Where is Ash Williams? That's what we're all thinking.
He's absconded. He has absconded to Perth. He says,
Is that the final state that he's allowed access to? He's allowed across the border.
it's a reverse COVID lockdown because, he's gone to Perth, quote,
For family reasons.
over this festive season.
His family or somebody else?
Well, it's true. Well,
Is there some sort of sex party being run by a family of fingers?
Now, I've never seen, this is the week I watched Eyes Wide Shut, so thank you for bringing that up.
What's the first time you've seen it?
I've never seen it.
It's a Christmas movie.
It is, that's why I bring it up. Last night. Let's go around the room. Tommy, did you watch Eyes Wide Shut?
I was at a movie premiere, like back in the.
Jeez, you almost said a party there. Almost said a party. He almost said a party.
back in the radio days where you got tickets and you sat in the little theaterette, never a great place to see a movie. And I think everyone was trying to convince themselves that that was an impressive body of work, and it was just awful.
What time was this for you?
Oh, middle of the day, of course.
10 a.m. Perfect time for the Eyes Wide Shut. Now, Tony, your experience with Eyes Wide Shut?
I remember Stanley Kubrik had died about a week before it came out, and then we all saw the movie. We're going, do you reckon he's just faked his own death?
Avoid that
It's a reception to this.
Get away from that.
Well, there was the fella, wasn't there? There was the fella that pretended to be Cube
Yeah, that's right.
for many years because he was so, he was so elusive and nobody had seen him for years. So there's this guy going around London. I'm Kubrick. And he would turn up to things and he was like, he'd get invited to parties and stuff. Everyone thought, Kubrick's a laugh, isn't he?
That's amazing.
Yeah, and there was a film about that bloke called Colour Me Kubrick.
Right.
So they made a whole movie about that guy.
Colour Me Kubrick. So there was a bloke getting around. So who could Ash Williams impersonate in Perth right now? Ben Cousins? Who could he? Who could Ash?
There is someone he's mistaken for, isn't there? There was a guy who's in one of the American dramas.
Yes.
Is it
Yes.
Mistresses?
Yes.
The American remake of Mistresses, and we're watching it at home, and the missus has gone, that's just a poor man's Ash Williams. And I told her that
often.
I've said that to Ash, and he goes,
Sweet
well,
man.
I auditioned for that.
Oh.
And he reckons they
Went
went
for
for
an Ash
someone.
Williams type. Yeah, Ash told a joke. Ash told a joke on this very podcast some months ago. It's not often you pull out the beep button on this show.
No.
We had to suffer through. It was one of those. The first guy goes in and we've been tested for a condom.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
We didn't put the punchline.
No.
We're not going to hear it.
Yes, that's
We're not
right.
going to hear it.
That's right.
It was give me $100 or I'll bite your dick off. And then she said to the second guy, give me $100 or you'll bite your dick off. The third guy, give me $100 or I'll bite your dick off. And that's just a long beat.
Oh, hang on. Is the punchline to that, have you got the money? No, but I do have a box of cocks.
Yes.
That's the...
Yeah.
I don't think that's what was under that beat.
No, I think that was actually Ross's suggested punchline. That was better than Ross.
Which is better, that's right.
I don't think the unbeat version
It was
would
down
help.
to eat. We remember?
I feel like it was ridiculously violent.
This sounded more
Yeah.
like a podcast from an old folks home.
Yeah.
Where are we? Literally. It was Tuesday. What was the guy? Don't let me forget. I've got to tell you about. No, because I've got to tell you. So, Eyes Wide Shut. Have I told you about my boxes?
Have you got your own version of Stanley Kubrick's boxes?
Not my own version.
Oh, you've got one?
I've got Kubrick's. Right, so
there's a documentary called Stanley Kubrick's box.
Yeah, and honestly, this will change your life, right? So Kubrick, while he was alive, he had a giant barn full of these boxes, with all his research and stuff in it. He, John Ronson, John Ronson got a phone call saying, my employee would like a copy of one of your documents. Yeah. What's that? Yeah, there we go. Right. So he made this documentary where after Kubrick died, he was invited to go and look through the boxes. So he's finding all this amazing stuff. And it turned out that Kubrick was so obsessive about the type of box that he wanted. So these boxes here that you've just pulled up there, right?
If you're watching this on YouTube, there they are.
Yeah.
Jay, don't look so scared. I'll put it in later.
So
it'll be beeped.
So he wanted the perfect box. And Ronson went through and there was one and it said front doors. And Kubrick had sent his researchers out to photograph every front door in London. And Ronson actually found his front door, a picture of his front door.
The red one that they use in Eyes Wide Shut, they found the picture of that door.
Because before Google, he used to basically go, he had a team of people and he'd go, Google search this, and then he had to go out into the world. So these boxes, right, he was so obsessed, he wanted a box that the lid could fit on properly, but it wasn't too loose. But he didn't want it too tight so that he could open it up, and it had to be they had to be stackable. So he went to the Queen's box maker. Right, there's a company that makes. Stop the clock because it remind me of box things in a second. So the Queen's box, they do boxes for like Kew Gardens. You put seeds in and stuff. This is a long walk, but I'm getting.
No, I get there. We're enjoying it.
I discovered that this company make the replica, the exact boxes that Kubrick, the actual boxes, and they're called the Kubrick box to his specification.
Yeah.
Do they ship to Australia? No, they don't.
Oh.
But what you can do is I went there to the factory. They don't accept members of the box.
Where is this factory?
There's just north of London.
So you've driven out of London.
I've gone to the I've rung them off.
You've claimed to be Stanley.
I've gone there. Anyway, turns out lovely people. I get a tour of the factory. I buy a full selection of Kubrick's boxes. I take them. I load up a hire car, like a people carrier, full of, I think I've got 30 of them, and then I box them up, but I had to go to a different box place to get them.
Of course. Yeah, of course you do.
Box them up, and then I ship them myself back here. I now have, in my office, I have a full wall of Stanley Kubrick's box.
And what's in them?
Yeah. Shit. Just, you know what? I have each box. I'll have a different. So if I'm working on a thing, I'll put it all in there, and when I die,
here we go.
When I die, they can do Noble's Kubrick's boxes, and Ronson can come and do that. So
all right, I'm having a look. Here are the titles on some of the boxes of Stanley's ones. It says 8x10 color, Tommy, Oregon. Goodness knows what that was for. What about this one? You'll like this tone. Clockwork, France reissue. So it must be like a print.
Oh, yeah.
Boxes. And then Ash Williams jokes.
One of the boxes just had hats in it because he wanted to know what would be the most sinister hat for the bad guys, the Droogs, to wear in Clockwork Orange. And if you remember, they wear bowler.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a sinister hat.
No.
So he's had to get the actors in and photograph them wearing literally every kind of hat available. The little hat with the propeller on the top, like a dunce's hat, every kind of hat. Well, then he's gone, which is the most sinister?
Well, that's what I always thought with Eyes Wide Shut. You know the scene where like he's going to the party.
Yeah.
He runs to the fancy dress shop and he's like, "You're a costume place." And he runs in. He's like, "I need a costume." And the guy's like, "Oh, we're close." I've got it. And he gives them and he turns up and he's got the same mask and he's got the same robe and everything. And you think, so did they all go to that shop? Because I love the idea that he ran in and like they're all in the thing and he's just as a chicken.
Now, Tom, have you discovered something in the boxes there?
Oh, there's Tom Cruise apparatus, shoe lifts.
All the different.
Yes.
Apparently, he found that there was a severed head from Full Metal Jacket.
Oh,
He found that like one of the boxes had a.
Tommy, you are famously the least nostalgic
yes.
person I've ever met. No one's got a wider body of work with less interest in it than you. And what? So
No, I'm the ultimate declutter. I just
he's got nothing.
get rid of everything.
Do you have anything from the castle? Do you have any trinket from the castle?
I don't
You
like
don't
stuff.
have a pool room.
No, well, that's where it would be.
I've
No,
from Russell. Anything. I've never
got
seen.
a boomerang from Russell Court. I'm a big on. Especially every time you move. We moved offices a while back, and so that's a great opportunity to go. Do I really need this box? And the one thing that I got stuck on was CDs.
Oh yeah.
Never play them. I'm never going to play them. But I wouldn't.
They're coming back though. The kids love the CD now. Oh my god! Yeah.
But love it as in just to own it or
Have
actually use it.
Yeah,
I mean,
use it. Yeah, yeah.
Even waiting for the little tray to come out and then go back in, that's just too long. I don't have time for that.
It's impossible for me to hit the eject button on a CD without being Alan Partridge going, that's a quality action.
Yeah. Oh, we get a chance to do some noble name dropping.
Oh.
When was the last time you saw Coogan?
When was the last time I saw cool? Oh, there was a picture actually. Somebody sent me a picture. Have you? Did I?
Where you go?
It's in a box.
It's on my it's on my phone. Somebody sent me a picture of me when I was like 17.
Yeah.
He was incredibly young from a party in the 90s.
With you and Coogan.
Yeah. Like Coogan before he was doing like all the bigs.
Wow.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
character, voice actor, voice talk.
The joke, I think it might have been
91. And to 2 in the morning.
being done by a group of people who were doing breakfast radio at the time. So
The thing is, Terry Jones was like the mascot for the festival. We didn't know he's going to come and see our show. But he didn't arrive till the last quarter of an hour. And I don't know if you remember the finale. It was a series of very highbrow sketches. But then it ended with 4 microphones on stage and just people appearing to fart into the microphones. But it was building to something because it was like, people were like, okay, can you fart in this microphone? There'd be a long pause and then there'd be a fart. And these will all be.
Gotcha.
Punchline was that when the 4th person did it, they farted a tune, beautifully modulated, a nursery rhyme.
Elgar, I think.
And so that was set. And so we're going, Terry Jones has arrived just for that.
And who was bent over?
What's he going to think of the show if he's only seeing that? And then we go out to meet him, pissed as a fish.
He'd had a few.
And very complimentary. And in fact, very complimentary in the paper the next day. And yet all he'd seen was the farting bit.
That's it. And saying, wow, who was bent over in front of the mics?
I think everyone in the car.
Who played those roles? So you,
Between myself, Rob,
Probably mediating.
yeah, and Rob, Tom,
Tom,
maybe there's a
Mick Lloyd,
And-
Jason
and who was doing sound
from
effects?
The Late Show, and John Harrison from the original D Generation.
And who was doing the sound effects? That's you in it, Tone. Who was cueing the sound effects?
They were being fired off by a man called, who was a lookalike for Jeff Fennick, who was the sound guy at La Joke. I can't remember his
I
name.
wasn't expecting you to say that.
I've got.
Jeff Fenning lookalikes not till the next episode.
Do you want?
Go.
Do you want it?
Noble's back.
Do you want to hear my Do you want to hear my messages with a misunderstanding over a football shirt with Eric Idle?
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah.
Wow. Sure, that's my area. Now we stumbled into my area.
So where is it? Yeah. It says here.
Is there any photographs attached? Because I have football shirts in my whole thing in life. It's all I care about.
No, I don't know what the jersey is, but it just says.
Can I have a look at the jersey? Will that ruin the joke?
There's no jersey.
Even better.
It says I've moved my
Eric says to you.
sends me this message, right? But basically, he sent it to the wrong Ross.
Fantastic.
So all of a sudden, I have moved. My millions will follow through. I don't do details or foreplay, right? And then I say,
So out of the blue, you get that from Eric Idle.
and he says, send the jersey to, and then I'll redact the address,
Gotcha.
right? So I have no idea what this is about. So I say, if it's a Jersey cow, I don't think I can. If it's a Jersey cow, I don't think I can FedEx it. But if you're in the UK, I could help you steal /Russell one from a country show, right?
Good.
I just think it's. Do you want me to help you steal Russell? Oh, that's not aged well.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Russell Brand.
Russell Redact.
Russell Brand. Okay, it was a different time. It was before.
It was 2014.
I reply, Russell, a cow. I'm reading this as this is
Live.
Russell, a cow, then brand it. Russell Brand is what is my cowboy to do? I don't know what I meant there. Happy to help with any livestock hijinks. I see it. Well, now I feel like a right turn up, as it was a cancer request from Ross Owen. I assumed it was you. I know I'm old, I'm Geordie, and I work too hard today. That's what he says.
Do you know what? And Ross Noble, in a moment, that felt like Ash was here. Thank you for that. That was great.
Yeah.
How good's that?
Great.
Text, everyone's got a Monty Python story today. All right, here we go. So now, can we talk about music, please? Music. Let's talk music, because one of us in this room is the proprietor of a #1 single,
Proprietor?
or releaser of.
Really?
More information, please.
Did it? Well,
It's the D generation.
did five in a row went to #1? Did it not?
I was once told that it was the
Go on.
second highest selling Australian single of that year. And that sounded great till they said what the first one was.
Here we
which
go.
was Say Goodbye by Indecent Obsession.
Twice.
But Tom basically wrote that.
Tommy, you wrote a song, did you not? Back in the day when you were working on commercial radio.
We put out a comedy album, which
Yes.
is just sketches. And
Yes.
the theory was that you need a single. And we're going, no, that when you're putting out an album of music, you need a single, but a comedy album.
But then they were saying, but what about Ostentatious with Australia, which was a #1 single, but it wasn't really a song.
We were kind of forced into a corner that we had to release a song.
How
or a single.
did you have to write the song?
Actually, quite a while, because the album was perhaps foolishly modelled, the cover art, on the cover art for Salman Rushdie's The Satanic Verses.
Yes.
And we called the album The Satanic Sketches. And Michael Gleisner was too frightened to release it, so the album sat on the shelf for
for a while.
a year.
A year because of the album cover.
Yeah.
I must. Sorry, if you want to name drop, right? If you want the best name drop ever, I must have talked about this.
Okay.
Did a gig in London, finished the show, had the bar upstairs. Like, oh, we'll have a bit of an after show. Turn up to the after show. Oh, wonder who will have turned up to see the show today, right? Salman Rushdie, Kerry-Ann Kennelly, together.
Both in witness protection.
I have got photographic evidence. I walk in, I went, oh, this is, I mean, what? It's nice he's out, but, and
The irony of that is it sounds like one of your bits. It's
I know,
live.
I know exactly.
Much like an isolate shut scenario.
I genuinely have a photograph of it, but yes, yes, somebody that they both knew brought them both to the show. But if you don't know the intersection,
The connection, weird connections. I remember sitting in the green room, about to go on the project some years ago. It was me and Peter Dutton for about 15 awkward minutes.
And what discussions were had?
It was sort of, I think not much. I think we kind of like nodded at each other. And I'm not going to.
No. But what about shows that you've either come to your shows, Tommy, or told you that they like your shows? You would have had, because there's a classic in Hershey's, and Michael Hershey's a producer working on EP, at Working Dog, of a letter from Neil Armstrong about the dish. How did that? Does that just arrive? How did you get the film to? Because he's talk about recluses. Armstrong went to the moon, then nowhere else. How did you get that? How did that come through?
It must have been the film company in the States got it to him, and we got this handwritten letter from Neil Armstrong.
please tell me that's in.
I haven't thrown that out.
This is on the fire. Stick it on the fire.
I've got an even easier connection to that story.
Here we go.
Via Ross Noble. So I'm in England working with Ross Noble.
Yes.
This is in 2013.
Why did you do it like that? I was working with Ross.
Pardon me. And so Ross has introduced me to Stuart Lee, the comedian.
Yeah.
So you got me into one of his shows, which were booked out.
Yeah.
You made a call.
Remember.
At the Soho Theatre. And so afterwards, Stuart Lee and I get a bus together to his house. And so we're on public transport. And he goes, now you work with that Working Dog lot. I go, well, not really. I used to work with them. And he goes, did you have anything to do with that film, The Dish? I go, well, my ex-wife was the first assistant director on The Dish. And he goes, because there's an old lady who lives in my street whose late husband worked at the Parkes telescope, whatever it's called. And she has no idea there was a film technically about her husband. And so he ordered the dish on Amazon on DVD and just went round to her house and just said, have a look at this, and just left it with her.
Wow.
And she was apparently blown away
Good
and
done.
technically went, that's a film about my husband.
Tommy.
So how's that for like 6 degrees
Jeez, that's a bit
from
of
that
fun.
story via Ross Noble?
Well, that's like when we went to see Chopper.
Who's
the-
you, Carrie Ann?
Yeah, it was it was the typical.
Yeah, just your
It's the
crew.
typical
Yeah,
deal.
yeah, yeah.
We went to see Chopper at the movies, and then Fran, my missus, was sat there, and they're at Bojangles nightclub, and there's a couple of bouncers on the door, and she leans over, she goes, her brother was a bouncer at that nightclub, and she went, that's him.
That's very impressive. That is the stuff.
How did we get here?
No idea. Are we recording?
Yes, of course we are. We are. So here we are. All right. So now, Tommy, you are a TikTok aficionado.
Yes.
What are your fave follows on TikTok?
There's some weird ones because you put in when you first join TikTok, you tell the Mr.
TikTok.
What you're interested in. So I might whack in golf or golden retrievers or fly fishing, something like that.
Yeah.
Which is fine. So you get a bunch of those, but then it starts to go into strange areas, and you go through waves. For quite some time, it was people cleaning rugs. This is good, like the dirtiest rug you can imagine, and it's all done in slightly fast, stop motion.
You definitely didn't put in dirty rug.
But now it's moved on. This has even taken a even slightly darker turn. Unclogging drains.
Oh, that does sound sad. Is it good? That does sound satisfying.
Oh, good.
Tony winced. It's very cathartic, Tony. It's like
What is coming out of the drain? Is it a fatberg?
it's Metamucil, I think, largely.
Beautiful.
It's
That does sound good. Now, when they do the rug clean, because Tiff was watching one yesterday, couch cleaning. She's a couch clean online video watcher.
Sure.
She said the most satisfying bit is after they've cleaned the couch and they pour the dirty water into a bucket so you can see what's come off the couch.
Yeah.
Is that similar with the rugs?
so good. That's
That's the payoff.
I've never done the talk, but I've done on the Instagram. I get the unblocking drains.
Oh, yeah.
And the one that led me to, which I want to try this. One, I would all encourage you to look at this, and also let's all do it together. Magnet fishing.
In the rivers.
Have you?
You hit Tom nail on the head for some
Super heavy duty magnet on the end of a rope, and they chuck it into a canal in Europe.
The dam.
And got something, and they have to pull it up really slowly so the magnet doesn't come off. And they always think it's going to be a safe, and the safe is going to contain
That is hilarious.
Oh,
Yeah.
and it's often just an e-bike usually. But it's magnet.
Do you like the sound of that, Tommy? Does that float your? Does that?
Oh yeah.
There's a guy, I think he's called himself Bondi Magnets. And if
The Bondi Magnet.
I think he's called it, I could be wrong, but there's a fella who is released. You can buy a magnet. He sells the big magnets. He sells the right ropes. You don't get chaff fingers and stuff.
Yes.
And I think there's I saw an Instagram of him, and he was like, don't be buying these cheap magnets. These knockoff magnets. We're the original so you can actually, there we go.
So
Bondi magnet.
Bondi magnets. Yeah.
Wow.
See, I thought
globe
when you said
ball.
magnet fishing, I just assumed there's so much mercury in it.
You get a magnetized suit of armor and stand in the ocean.
Okay, here he is. The Bondi, you follow him, Ross, on Instagram. God, you're wonderful. Awesome. Bondi treasure hunter.
Yeah.
Just the 1.1 million followers at the moment. The founder of Bondi Magnets, Tommy. And have a look, Tone, have a quick look-see at, here we go. So fishing with big magnets. That's the gig? All right, here we go, Tone. Cop this. He's chucked it in.
Yeah.
It'll be the Parramatta River to me.
Okay, he's reeling it in.
Yeah, here we go.
What will it be? He's got something big, says the caption. Normally TikTok videos faster than this.
Yeah, this is interesting.
It's one of Ross's old motorbike.
That's good. Motorbike's good.
On it.
Okay, that is genuinely satisfying, isn't it? The
So-
Bondi Magnet.
The Bondi Magnet, all I'm saying.
Should get him on.
Yeah.
Oh, could we get him to take us
Yeah.
magnet fishing?
The team effort goes magnet fishing. It's
but
the
you know what?
promote people have been begging for.
But I reckon the place to go is country towns, because I reckon your big city centres,
Yeah.
your urban
Fished
fish town, yeah. your urban.
Would be in like a little canal running through a northern English town would just be extraordinary.
What do you reckon, Ross?
Shopping trolley.
Yeah.
Some of the plastic though, Jay, these days they're kind of plastic. They may not quite.
Yeah, you're right. Only the handle. Yeah.
Oh no, the UK they're still hanging on.
But it could be one that's been down there for a long time.
It was a great antique.
Yeah.
trolley. Yeah.
Antique.
Historic.
Historictrolleys.com. So this sometimes they pull out things so that other people have put in bags, so purposely thrown in the river. That's good fun.
The guns, they find all sorts.
Guns.
Guns all the time because people murder weapon straight in off the bridge.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, we can't do that anymore. What am I going to do? What am I going to do with them?
Guns number 2. If you search the top 5 items caught with magnet.
Oh, hang on, then let's see if we can get top 5. Let's see if we can guess. No, at 5. No, don't tell us you guess. So that's fine.
We asked 100 people things you would find discarded in a river can only be achieved with a magnet.
Okay, so Tony 5, Ross, Tony, Tommy. What do we think at 5? We'll work our way up to 1.
What about former union boss?
All right, so I'm going to go. All right, Rossi, what do you reckon? At 5. What do you reckon's at 5?
Oh, well, it's got, I think, it's hard because I know what I think I know what the top 3 would be.
All right, well, Tommy, you go 5.
I think Jay might have shopping trolleys. I reckon would be.
They're 2, aren't they? What number was shopping?
Well, they're in there. They're in the top 10.
Okay, so okay, all right.
And e-bikes, scooters, anything.
E-bike scooters.
So car tire rims are going to be the closest thing to that.
Oh, actually, so
Car tire rims 5.
okay, car tire rims, yeah.
Knives. Discarded murder knives.
No.
Small
Murder.
It's a very small item and one that look nobody.
Mobile phones. That be number.
Phones not on the list. Coins number 4.
Yes. All right, number. So we need 3, 2.
I don't believe number 3.
Go.
Safes.
No, it's
That's what they're out there for.
it's doing a safe.
Weirdly, on the, and you can go back, they do get a lot of saves. There was one that had it was from a Polish embassy or something.
That was a good one.
And they're so disappointed. I mean, they're so excited, and then they crash when they open them, and there's nothing there.
Yeah.
So what you should do, just to really make their day, is put a safe inside a safe, and then follow
Not a safe turned up.
Yes.
Number 2, guns. Number 1, discarded bicycles.
Yeah.
Actually, bike components, right?
God, what am I doing here when I could be out magnet fishing? When did that get? So how did these things happen? How do they go from seemingly possibly no one to biggest thing online that I've never heard of?
So
Right,
that's what I think you should do is go out. Team effort goes and explores these niches, right? So we go spend time with the Bondi Magnet guy. We go spend time with the guy in the UK who's the train follower.
Oh,
You've seen that guy. We go to the the dirty rug cleaners, the rain stoppers.
Danny Kubrik.
And we make
It's a great idea, Jay.
And have you seen the guy that he cuts people's lawns for free?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Hang on, they're big.
What?
Yeah, they come up, they knock on the door and they say, "I notice your lawn's really overgrown. Would you like me to trim it for free?" There's a theme here for me. I like things that are cleaned, unclogged.
Yes, you do. Yeah,
trimmed.
Well, as a flip side of that, I think my favourite one is do you know the glitter bomb, the glitter bomber? So what he did was the glitter bomb. I don't know if that's what
Was it Baz Luhrmann? That's been arrested.
Baz Luhrmann had a glitter vest.
Yeah, cool.
Bomb vest. every frame. Yeah. So what he does is he's built this bomb, which is basically when you open a package, it's got mobile phones inside, so he can film what's happening. He can stream it live. It explodes glitter all over somebody's house, and he leaves it. So he'll leave this thing, and then people come and nick the package, and then he tracks it. It's got trackers in there, and then it gets to the house, and then as soon as the person's like, "Oh, I've stolen some lovely stuff," and it just...
What's he called, Ross?
So here's
go, Jay.
I searched glitter bomber, and it comes up Glitter Bomb 1.0 versus Porch Pirates.
Porch Pirates,
which is another name.
Yeah.
Oh, so porch pirates are people who steal packages off.
That's right.
So that happened to me. My son, he's 7 years old, and he's very dedicated to World War I, and I bought some very expensive...
Let me guess. Was it a German helmet with a big spike on it?
Well, I think you'll find they're Prussians, but yes, it was. And so yes, that's exactly what it was. Yeah, because Lego don't make those, so you have to go to Tactical Bricks, good people, and you have to buy them individually. So he wanted the Gurkhas, who fought with the British. He was very specific. Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely right. They make those.
That's this guy. His name is Mark Rober. It's got more than 60 million followers.
Well,
on
he's
YouTube.
but you know what? He's earned that.
Yeah,
He has
absolutely.
earned his 50
He's still
million.
a serious engineer.
Right, so can we have a look, Jay? Can we watch one live?
Great to see.
This is welcome to the team effort where we watch videos.
Because you want to see someone get their comeuppance.
Yes, I do. I don't want to hear him talking because no, I don't want to hear his. I don't want to hear his.
But he did.
Festo.
He did. He did a collab because I'm obsessed with.
He goes through all of the engineering process here.
No.
Yeah. There's a. Have you seen Colin Firth?
No, we got to wait first. We got to finish this first.
Sorry.
Yeah. So we just want to.
Yeah,
Tommy
want
is
to see
saying.
the-
Sorry,
you want to
this
see
thing won't-
the-
Sorry.
You want to see the miscreant.
Here we go. Come on.
Yeah.
So here comes. Oh, you tracked it.
Tracked
I'm
it, Matt.
going to put this video in YouTube. So don't worry about it, everyone. You'll be right.
Oh, here I go.
Okay. So here
Right.
comes. So he's watched it. Oh, he's got phone sticking out of it.
Yeah.
So he's put it. So it's coming out of the porch pirate's car. Tone.
Floating the guy's
Can you
coat.
please? Can you commentate, Tone?
Multiple cameras in action. It's out of the car.
Yeah.
It's going back to the Batcave.
Yeah.
The word "dude" keeps appearing in the subtitles.
Because this is the porch pirate.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the porch.
So this is reaction.
Right.
Okay, so here we go. So the porch pirate, he's put it down. Okay, beauty. New group calls 4 guys.
Did catch us. Okay. It didn't work. Let us.
Oh, it didn't work.
It's describing what happened.
Well, that was obviously
Oh,
the cut out of the
Yeah.
bunker.
Yeah.
Oh, there's fart spray as well.
He keeps up in it. Yeah. Fart spray is.
What kind of world are we living in?
Yeah.
Where
What?
you've got the victims of crime and the criminals both recording their side of the story.
Yeah. And I'm still stuck on fart spray. So if they
Yeah.
run out of glitter, what can we do? Load up the farts.
I mean, there's a great one where they, because you know the scammers where they change their voices and
Yeah.
they're trying to do all that. He did one where he sent a parcel to the scammers and they hacked into all of the video cameras, and so he basically, you were only allowed to take motorcycle helmets and lunch boxes into this place. So he made a motorcycle helmet that released rats and it released cockroaches, and he sat there watching these cameras as there's like rats and cockroaches. And, I love it. Yeah.
How do we get here?
I don't know. So what happened with the other bloke?
Where-
Carl first?
Colin Firth, he's a sort of he's a British inventor, and he does things like he made like a jet propelled shopping trolley in a collab with the Magnificent. But he did this thing where his current thing is he's got a normal suburban house and he's dug a tunnel out to his garden shed, but now he's excavated the whole of his front garden and he's building an underground bunker. And you get updates on the bunker building.
What's going to happen with the bunker?
It's going to make him a lot of money.
We're in the wrong business. We're in the bunker. I didn't know the bunker business was so big. Well, all right. That's all the internet videos I can think to describe. Tone, do you have a cat one you'd like to describe?
No, I haven't. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
There's a fantastic,
Here we go.
I reckon, top 10 all-time cat video that I've seen, which is a cat stealing a chicken fillet off the kitchen bench and running to eat it. But he runs into one of those giant wheels, those like mouse wheels for cats,
Yeah.
and he starts eating it. And then a second cat is sneaking up on him. So he's going, I'm not having this. So he starts running, but he's running in the wheel. He can't get anywhere. And then he goes completely round the wheel, like in a cartoon. I've watched that about 1,000.
The key search terms for that.
So what is the
Wheel chicken fillet.
cat wheel chicken fillet? Let's see how we go.
Have we now established the fact that, because I'm not really that interested in cat videos, but I would watch videos of you describing.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the channel.
The cat's approaching.
Okay.
Gone for the bin. Oh, he's lost his balance.
He doesn't understand that it's a mirror.
I think I found it. Here we go. So Tommy's watching live. Here you go, Rossi. So he's in they're laughing, Tone. Do they laugh?
Yes, they do.
He's got his fillet. Oh, and here comes the second cat. And now he's running in the wheel. He's running, and the other cat's trying to get to and he goes all the way around.
There you go, as
What's
described.
the point in writing comedy when you're up against that?
That should be a separate Oscar category.
Well, that's the end of episode 1. Jay, what have we learned? My God. With this, you know what, guys? Thank you. That was the most we've ever learned. I don't know if it's because Ash isn't here, but it does feel that way. And that's the most we've ever
like he was here.
learned. Okay, go on.
Cat videos. Matt Dower, the Pots and Pans, sent me a cat video of a guy. He's got a cat on his lap, and the cat is air drumming to a song by Rush. Do you know the band Rush? Canadian prog rock.
Matt Dower would not have been Googling cat videos. He would have been Googling
The best.
Rush drums.
And when the cat is doing the isolated hi-hat, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Found it.
You've already got it. You've already got it. Oh my goodness, look at that. Okay, so can we put that up on the or on YouTube? So show Tom. So there we go. So there's a photograph of a young Ross Noble, a young Steve Coogan, and then in the middle is a picture of Elvis Presley.
Elvis and a pillar, a leopard skin pillar.
Yeah. What do you think you're talking about? What year do you think it is, and what do you think you're talking about?
Oh.
Well, he would have seen your act by this stage.
Yeah, I would say.
Do you remember the first time he saw your act?
Edinburgh.
How old were you?
19, 18, something like that.
And do you remember meeting him, or do you, not really, or?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Like, because even then he was.
And so he come up to you, and do you remember what happened? Do you,
Oh, I tell you what. I tell you what happened once, which is one of the greatest experiences of my life. He just bought we did this gig, and he just bought a new Ferrari, and I'd never been in a Ferrari, and I went, go on then, give us a spin in your Ferrari, and then so I was driving around in the Ferrari, and he sort of did. He was being Partridge, but also Jeremy Clarkson at the same time, driving around. It's quite strange. And I said, I went, are you doing Partridge or are you doing Clarkson? Yeah, sort of both. Like,
driving glove?
No, I don't think he had driving gloves on. But I've got a picture of, do you know the festival? Have you heard
Isle of Man? Is that?
That's in St Kilda.
Yes.
It was one of the funniest. I took my father-in-law. It's Goodwood.
Oh, the revival? Goodwood Revival Festival?
Yes, yeah.
Which Alan Partridge describes as pleasingly conservative.
Yeah, well, yes. No, sorry, you're right. It was the revival. So everybody goes there and you dress up in the old clothes, you know? And a lot of people will dress up in Second World. Your son would love it. He dress up in the old war gear. They have a whole section which is Second World War. Right. So I went. A lot of people will go in RAF uniform. Of course. I got you like this. I got the full it in off hot mum. You know with the pith help.
Yeah, then
the pits. Right on, my lovely boy. A lot of people didn't get it. Anyway, so
how to any Windsor Davies fans listening?
The full, I saw it was okay, Mr. Lordy Dog on a Graham.
So, if you're wondering who that is, just imagine everyone hassling Lawrence of Arabia. That's the look that we're going for there. Yeah.
So anyway, so I went one year, I went like that, and then but there was another year where I thought I looked like Lord of the Manor, right? I had a flat cap on, and I had like +4s and all the rest of it. Yeah. And then Lady March, who owns the whole estate, I was introduced to her, and I thought, oh, there's me looking like the Lord of the Manor. She went, absolutely marvellous. You've come as a gamekeeper. So I've got this gear on. And then, so Coogan's there, and so is Mark Williams, you know, from...
I sat in his chair when you took me to see Eddie Izzard in Brighton, at some sort of stadium, and I was sitting next to you, and a bloke comes along and goes, mate, you're in my seat. And it was Mark Williams.
Oh, there you go.
From The Fast Show.
So, yes, The Fast Show, he's the dad in Harry Potter. So, I took my father-in-law along to see all the old cars and stuff. And he goes, and he sees Coogan and Williams. They're stood there and they're in the gate. And he goes, oh, bloody hell. Bloody, I can't believe it. Oh, my God. He's my favourite. I've got to get a photo. And I'm thinking, I didn't know he was a Steve. Yeah. That's a bit niche. Oh, no. Straight over to Williams. I introduced him. And he's like, oh, yeah, you take my photo. Oh, we love your show. Thinking, what does he think? He's not a Harry Potter fan, right? And then afterwards I went, who did you think that was? We watch his show all the time, you know? When he's a priest, he solves crime on a bike. And I went, oh, God, he's been drinking. What does he mean he solves crime on a bike? And it turns out there's a show called Father Brown Investigates.
And they actually pull his bike out of a river.
Imagine that as a pitch for a network. He's a priest, who solves crime.
Yeah.
On a bike.
So, but that's British TV. Yeah. That is literally, it's Sunday night, right? He's an investor. Have you ever seen a show called Rosemary and Thyme?
I've seen it. I've seen it on UK TV and skipped past it.
A gardening detective. So you had Lovejoy, who was the antiques detective.
Yeah. Didn't he talk down the barrel of the camera?
Yes, that's right.
Bergerac. What was it?
Bergerac was so John Nettles. He was on the island of Jersey, and because of course a lot of money on Jersey.
Tax haven.
So there was a lot. It was a higher end.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
So anyway, so the upshot is that there's me, Williams and Coogan, all dressed in historic outfits, standing there at Goodwood. Somebody takes a photograph. I then decide to tweet the photograph, and I say, coming soon to BBC One. I say, coming soon to BBC One, horse racing detectives, because you can see that, it's all the good thing. people go mad for it. Like,
Yeah.
what? No, can't wait to see this. You go, no, we're not fucking horse racing. It's idiots. So yeah, had a lot of backpedaling on that. Sorry.
Rosemary in Time, 3 seasons back in 2003.
It's like went forever.
Would you like to guess what genre it was?
Crime.
So crime thriller is one of them, but then there's a subgenre.
Horticulture?
Oh,
Untitled?
cozy mystery.
Oh,
No.
Cozy
If it
mystery.
weren't cozy mystery, I would point you towards Shakespeare and Hathaway.
Yeah, that's also gets
Cozy mystery.
past. What
is solving
Different-
crimes,
Shake-
spelling mistake.
Shakespeare and Hathaway are private detectives in Stratford,
Aye.
Stratford-upon-Avon,
Yeah, good.
and they solve crimes based around the tourists.
The detective series where they decide it'd be funny if we give them both surnames that
Yeah,
can work
yeah,
at colour.
yeah.
Willing and Able.
And Abel with Shathington and Grant
I reckon
Dodd.
there's a million of those. But
There was one a couple of years ago on, I think, Channel 9 called Hide and Seek.
Yeah.
And it was HYD,
Yeah.
but then they were just looking for things. And you're going, it should have been an Indian, it should have been a Seek.
Of course.
It should have been a Hide and Seek.
And Dr. Jekyll's alter ego.
Wow.
Sick wants to kill, and he's calmed down by a man in a turban.
I know. We're just going to
There's been a few, that you just grab two random surnames.
Don't 5 in a row, peaked at number 12 on the ARIA charts. Its follow-up, 5 more in a row, number 37. And it was at there.
boy.
We started on What is Ash Doing in Perth. Here is a list of events. He could go see Delamitri tonight as we are recording this.
Okay.
He could go to Carols in the City on the 21st. He could go to the Radar Festival on the 28th. New Year's Eve on the beach, North Fremantle, New Year's Eve, Taste of Hearth at the Songbird Bar. Snack New Year's Eve, so he's got options on New Year's Eve. Or a festival that is just described as digital on the 21st.
You missed the biggest one. On the 1st of December, he could go to Crown Perth for their New Year's Eve, quote, swanky event.
Who's hosting that, Ed?
Me.
Oh,
Wait a second.
yes, please.
Yeah, but I don't want to tell Ash.
I think
you'll-
you did.
Do you know the lineup?
Put in an invoice. I know at the moment I think it's me, Shakespeare and Hathaway.
Delamitri.
Yeah.
So, but when given Ash's history in the bar with the guy finger up the R,
Digital is the
did you
think that he's
I think he might be headlining the digital.
And that's the episode. That's Team Effort 1. Team Effort 2. The episode 2 will be up momentarily. Here we go. And welcome back. The Team Effort. And still rocking his khakis with a cup in the crease. It's Tommy Gleisner. Still rounding them corners in the Lolos, girls. It's Ross Noble. Still puffing the trees and still not loving police. It's Tony Martin. Welcome back, all. Welcome back.
We're back.
Jay, good to have you with us. Today, it's time to talk about AI.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's AI. That's exactly right. Yep. Haley Joel Osment.
Oh,
Now, because last episode we were talking Kubrik.
Yeah.
So, what was the go with AI? Did he not finish the film
he was going to make.
going to make? Had he started?
No.
Was it in the boxes?
It was in the boxes. There was like storyboards, I think. And Spielberg's raided the boxes and gone, I'll have that.
So Spielberg not remade, but sort of.
He just made the film.
chuck in.
Oh, okay.
Imagine, because aren't there like skateboarding kind of kids or something in?
Yeah, and they're all in the junkyard and all that. Yeah.
That wouldn't have been in Kubrick's version. I don't think a skateboard gang.
You know. And what was the other one? There was another movie that he.
He was going to do Napoleon,
Yes.
and I think there's
I've seen the models for that.
did.
I've seen the models for that at an exhibition somewhere. So I've seen the little models he built for that.
No, there was another movie. There was another.
Goes to jail.
That was it. That was the one. Yeah.
Like we claimed on Sizzletown that he'd directed lost episodes of On the Buses.
So, Tony, the Kubrick unfinished product, unrealized projects on Wikipedia. The Burning Secret and Natural Child, Napoleon is on there. Aryan Papers,
Which one?
Aryan Papers.
Was that a book? He loves a book.
Was that a sort of? Was that Nazi origami?
It is so Shadow of the Sun on the Sun is that was a original BBC radio serial drama. Lunatic at Large.
I know.
He's only making
Tom-
film every 12 years.
Okay, that's why I want to bring that. Tom, imagine someone said to you, you had to work on the same thing every day, just one project for 12 years. What would happen to you?
That would kill me.
But that's I'm not boasting. I'm saying
No,
I'm
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
just couldn't do it.
So, yeah, anyway, right, so here we go, AI. So, Tony, you set me off on this because on your Blue Sky, right, I was looking at your Blue Sky and you reposted someone who said the $82.5 million sale of Hot Ones the
Oh, yeah.
online show where you eat. First We Feast is part of a broader strategy at BuzzFeed to shift away from human editors, writers, and content producers in favor of artificial intelligence, which they say results in high-margin tech-enabled revenue lines. So even an online idea of just let's chat while we eat chili is now AI'd for optimization.
Well, I mean, they've started to, I mean, you must get those ones on where it says, and now the best review of training shoes for 2024.
I don't listen to any TikTok thing that's got the fake voice on it. Like,
No,
if you can't be bothered, stuttering.
If I then calling Pete Smith to voice this properly.
So what I've done is we're going to play a game called AI. Guess the AI. I'm going to tell you guys what happened when I put I've gone to your IMDb's and Wikipedia's, etc., and I've put in descriptions of your things to see if you can then I put that into AI and got them to write out what they.
I'd like a bio.
What that project would be. So I said, take the strap line, put it into AI, and say, give me a movie about that, or give me a story about that. Let's see what they got. Here we go. Here is what AI says of this AI's version of this strapline / idea. Buzz in when you know the answer. It could be any three of you. Present day in the suburban town of Pine Valley, where every house looks exactly the same except for the stubbornly eccentric Walsh residence. A Victorian-style home painted in rainbow colours, complete with a front yard full of garden gnomes and a chicken coop that somehow violates 6 different local regulations. That's AI's version of the strap line.
This is a stretch. It couldn't be the castle.
It is.
Really?
That's if AI wrote the cast.
That's what they would turn it into.
So on the IMDb, the strap line about the family, the government, trying to give me the line. The purpose, not purposely,
compulsorily
acquire their house. You put exactly that strap line into AI, and that's what it gives.
And that's where it's gone. Garden gnomes are funny.
Yes, and I said a comedy too. So I put a comedy.
Yes,
the first time I did it, it was like there will be blood. It was full on. I said, I better put a comedy in here. So that's what AI.
That's what.
Let's make your milkshake, Mr. Carrigan.
So, but the thing with AI is that I was trying to put it's really odd in the image generator. If you put in like creature, so you see you're typing caterpillar with a human face, it'll give you a picture of a caterpillar next, like a human face looking at a caterpillar. So then you try and change it and you'll say like a human with a caterpillar body, and it can't
join them.
Like it can't think conceptually.
Taking you literally.
Everything's literal.
You need to say a human having sex with a caterpillar.
That's
very
fine.
Yeah,
What would that be?
For today's show.
Let's find it.
I see. Okay, here we go. Can you get this one? All right, here we go. Modern day Chicago. Ben Kinnear and Mike Paddock are 2 undercover detectives with way too much publicity. Modern day Chicago, where social media reigns supreme and everyone's got a phone camera ready. The city serves as both playground and prison for our protagonist, with its mix of glittering skyscrapers and gritty neighborhoods providing plenty of...
Right, it's that bad, eh?
You got it.
It is. But so they've just taken the actual strap line and moved it to Chicago.
Exactly right. And made it.
Interesting.
So there we go. All right, then.
Pretty lazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really lazy.
Yeah. I remember we were recording a team effort and Limo had to do a wedding speech that night. This was off air. So he just typed write me a wedding speech with jokes into AI.
Yep.
And all it did was basically Google wedding joke.
Yes.
Like it didn't invent any jokes. It just collated jokes off the internet. I'm going, well, Limo could have just done that himself.
Well, yeah, I think he did. He killed.
That it's creating from the existing.
Yeah, that's all it can do.
No, it doesn't.
No,
like,
it can't.
But give it a week and it'll...
It'll work out.
But if you ever tell it to... Oh, no, don't think I didn't try.
Here we go. Right at Ross Noble's Edinburgh show.
Right at Ross Noble show. Bang. I thought, I'll save me some time.
Why did it come?
And you know what? It just...
Save me some time. What did he come up with?
Turns out all it does is it just puts the word...
If it goes to previous Ross Noble.
No, not even that. It basically just says... It puts the word folks. If you write stand up, it just says like, hey folks, I was just... So presumably, if you scrape the internet for all stand up,
right,
apparently folks is a hey folks.
Ah.
That must be what it's all.
Yeah,
all-
right.
Folks seems to be the thing
word.
the AI
Wow.
thinks stand-ups use the word folks a lot.
Wow.
Presumably American, but
But you'd think it's not sourcing Nobel-esque topics. It's not writing a routine about Stanley Kubrick's boxes.
it hasn't got. I
That-
think AI hasn't managed to go random yet.
Because you do read constantly that comedy is the last
Yeah,
job
that's the one.
the
Can't
AI
do
is
it.
going to be
Yeah.
able to master.
Yeah.
But are we to assume that eventually it will?
No, I don't think so, because it's the sort of thing where if you this will got to be serious. If you work out like as soon as you work out a brilliant joke, straight away you can subvert that joke. And then if somebody thinks you're going to subvert it, and then you do an actual joke, so it's one of those things where we're in a constant.
You're always one step
You're
ahead.
one step ahead of and you can only get that by knowing what an audience will.
Ah, gotcha. Yes.
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
You need the response to go, now I know what I'll do here, sort of thing.
Yeah. And if you do the same thing, if something works, if you do the same thing again, there's no element of surprise.
Well-
and AI's never gonna.
Well, that's interesting because I remember seeing a comic that was massive on TikTok live. And it was like that was the thing that was not that they hadn't worked out yet. Because the TikTok, they get response, but they don't get laughs. They get likes, which are different to laughs to me. So in front of an audience, you could see them going, oh, no, hang on. You can't hear a like. That bit doesn't, that people liked that when I did it online, but it's not getting a laugh as such. So it's sort of like that. It doesn't have the response is not informing the next bit, if you know what I mean. So here we go. Here's this one. I cracked it. I was there ages. I finally worked out. I apologize. I said, okay, here we go. This is what AI said in response to this. I apologize, but I don't feel comfortable generating a plot based on that specific concept. As the source material...
Is it switches? Is it stitches?
Stitches?
Yeah.
What's that?
Where I play
Ross's film,
where I
Deadly Clown.
Is
Deadly Clown?
Well before Terrifier.
long before.
No.
It's not for me to say that it's the Citizens Kane of clown food.
Why didn't it make $100 million like Terrifier has? Could you re-release it?
You know what? I'll mention that to the.
Why wouldn't you? Hang on. Because Terrifier is now like a
Franchise.
$1 yeah, it's a franchise. Thank you, Jay.
But you could do the origin story, or it could be a Terrifier
Just re-release
original or a Terrifier story.
Like-
now they put things on.
it. Well,
Oh, Stitches versus Terrifier.
okay. Do you remember, Tony, when we interviewed Lee Winnell, the proprietor of the store? Do you remember what he told us off air?
What did he say?
Ah, this is the best one. This is my all-time favorite. So him and James Wine, of course, make the first one. They saw it goes Atomic goes global. Second one sort of tangentially involved. They were up to Saw 7 when we interviewed him. And we said, what's your role these days, Lee? And he was promoting his sort of next film after that franchise. And he goes, oh, it's great. He goes, I'm on set with my laptop looking up old T-shirts from bands to buy. And he goes, I just sit there on my laptop and they're off there shooting the scene. And every now and again, someone will go, Lee. And I go, yeah. And he'll go, mate, would you reckon he'd hack him with the cleaver or the sickle? And I just yell, the sickle. And they go, no worries. And then I just look at and then I go back to my computer and I see that some money's flooded in. That could be you with Stitches.
Could have been. Could have been.
No, still can. What about Stitches?
Chris Rock, though. Chris Rock was in a Saw.
Yes, yeah, I know. Mate, hang on, let's have a look at Stitches. Look at this. Look at this, Tommy. 2012. You are Terrifier. This is...
I would argue that Terrifier does not have the comedic element.
So are you willing to go back into the role to now make $100 million from Stitches to The Reckoning?
No, I've gone.
What do you mean?
There's integrity. Look,
Integrity? You're on this show. Integrity?
just you know
Geezer.
when you've achieved perfection, it's
You're magnet fishing. You're not looking.
I can't be going over those waters again. It's like Top Gun Maverick. Sure, it was entertaining.
Here we go. Keep going. Yeah. It was tough going. All right, here we
We're
go.
in the middle of a description of
Sorry, ready? Here we go. So this is what cracked the AI. I apologize, but I don't feel comfortable generating a plot based on that specific concept, as the source material contains extreme body horror and deeply disturbing content. Even in a comedic context, it could be insensitive and potentially offensive to many viewers. What did I put into AI?
I'm going to have a guess. Was it Tackle Happy? The
No, well, you're close.
one of us was in?
You're close. What is the thing I said that even AI said, nah, not doing it.
On that
I
subject,
will not make a comedy. There was a sister or something.
Oh, it's not. It's not.
So I put,
Is it?
comedy, a comedic, and then
Oh,
put this thing in. So a
it's not-
comedic version of.
Is it nails?
It's not nails. This is
Good
good
Lord.
one. Yeah.
I can't believe
You're going to all kick yourselves when I give you this one. They won't. AI will not generate a comedic version of.
The Mick Malloy show.
No. It is
Is it?
Human Centipede.
Oh,
I thought it was one of.
yeah, I thought it was. See, we were going through our own.
No. Sorry, sorry. I should have, widen the terms, but they won't do it.
we've moved on. We're better people these days.
Mind.
It'll tell kids to kill themselves, but it just
Yeah, exactly right.
I mean, come on. The Human Centipede with a comedy twist. I'd watch that.
Yeah,
Like a sort of a Jacques Tati.
Because how many did they get up to with the centipede? Wasn't it like
800?
yeah.
Now imagine them
Yeah.
trying to go through a revolving door. Go, that's Junk Tutty's Human Centipede.
Don't tell me people wouldn't watch that. That is.
So the start of it, the Greer's doctor gets an eviction notice. Oh, how am I going to get my centipede to my new premises? We just hire a van. We're going to need a long van. And then his mate goes, hang on a second. It's Chinese New Year. Why don't we stick a dragon head on it and a selection of chiffon and we'll get them to die?
See, AI can't do this then.
Ross just proved that AI can't touch the sides.
Could you imagine? It's a busy Chinatown.
Yep.
They're up one end.
And
Get ready, go. And he's in there. And of course, everyone's loving it. Everyone sees them.
The two men are carrying a sheet of plate glass across.
It's I bailed on that idea too early.
well,
AI's going to be woke.
AI won't touch it.
Although TikTok, I'm sure because of it's owned by the Chinese,
They
isn't
would
it?
have loved that, wouldn't they?
If you said Human Centipede,
Yeah.
Chinese New Year,
Yep.
collab,
Collab. Well, we're never going to top that. Jay, in this second AI episode, we are all AI ourselves. Any last things we need to bring up before we move on?
We
Tommy?
have been unable to contact Ash Williams.
Yes, that,
Oh, let's
that's
finally-
the only thing.
Now, the problem is...
Yeah.
not be able to hear it.
No, I'll put him on speaker on my mic.
While you're getting him out, so an AI version of this podcast,
Oh, God.
right? Self-help, hilariously unhelpful is the title that AI has come up with.
Not bad.
A podcast where three comedians, Ed Kavalee, Tony Martin, and Ash Williams, take on the world of self-improvement, personal development, and mental health with a sharp, often absurd sense of humor. Think of it as a mix of life advice and comedy where no self-help book, guru, or motivational quote is safe from mockery. Here's where it gets it wrong.
Bad, actually.
But it's not all jokes and jabs.
Oh.
Ed, Tony, and Ash are also genuine in their approach to life's challenges. They share their own experiences, flaws, and occasionally some questionable advice, all while keeping listeners laughing. Expect to hear everything from disastrous life hacks to totally unqualified but hilarious takes on productivity, relationships, and mental health.
Productivity.
That's the imperfects in it. I mean, the imperfects are already doing that.
AI is just described that.
Once mental health sneaks into the equation, you're in.
A real downer. All right.
No.
Now,
Like that description, there's been very little life advice in
I
half
think,
years.
you know how everyone says now, it's really important to talk about mental health.
Yeah.
I think we need a new campaign
Here we go.
to say we need to talk about mental health, just not as much.
Thank you so much.
You know what I mean? And certainly
Pull
not,
it back a bit.
just
dial it
certainly not on a podcast. You know,
Yeah.
but if you're going to talk about mental health, please monetize it.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's the most important. That's the most.
I've been saying the Mental Health Murders podcast is my podcast, right? That's all I want. Mental heart.
How about a cozy mystery?
It's-
Mental health murder?
Is somebody? I bet you there's people out there who are literally doing the housework, just listening to people being sliced to pieces,
Yeah.
and then just go, "Oh, better get my mental health back up."
Yes.
Complete
Yeah.
loop.
It's a feedback loop.
And make sure it's totes relatable.
Oh, my Tony.
Look at that.
With that. Did you hear that? With a Zoomer comment. All right.
It's where is Ash Williams at the moment?
Let's find out. He told me he'd be ready, but I bet he is. I
Dialing.
We can hear his answer.
It is early for him. It is early.
told him we call.
He's going to answer. He's going to go, if it's her husband, I'm not here.
Deals Incorporated. It's a no message.
They can't afford the voice.
Well, what about is he still got his intern? Shouldn't the intern be answering the phone?
Heard about the intern.
That's interesting. So what if we had been, the makers of the one where he's a French bloke wanting
Oh, yeah.
spin off with
Well-
his sitcom? We call the number no answer.
Yeah, we doing we on Pod Live. He told me he would answer, which is how I know he won't.
Hey, that's interesting.
Does he have an agent? Yes. He was complaining about someone to me the other day. And I said, didn't you get rid of that bloke, your agent? He goes, they begged for me to come back, so I did.
Is it the same agent who got him that life hack, whatever, powder age mate deal?
Got him the,
Good agent.
might have got him the...
I mean, it's not the number one quality in an agent, someone who's good at begging. You want somebody that's quite aloof, that, he might do it, he might not do it.
Give him the role.
Please.
Please.
Operating out of a storage container somewhere.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's ring Ash's agent. Hello, Ringwood Master.
well, true to form, he's let it down. And that's exactly what we want.
What a perfect note.
Well,
Yes.
to end on, let's do plugs, Tommy.
I've got a very quiet Christmas. I'm just going to be
TikTok.
hanging out. I'm a consumer, not a contributor.
It's a voyeur. He's
Voyeur.
he's a eyes wide shut guy up in the balcony in the mask. Tone?
Sizzletown is on
Unbelievable.
TikTok, strikingly low numbers, except for a couple of clips where it's a sketch, but people think it's real. And we've discovered that's the key to success.
Well, let's not
On the
forget on
TikTok.
the latest, which is all on 10 play, on Thank God You're Here. Of course, everyone in this parish has had a sweet, sweet turn. The clip of Marty on a morning show
It's Dr. Love.
as Dr. Love is over 15 million views because most people think it's real.
It's good advice.
Yeah.
It is good
So,
advice.
so does that now mean that for the next series, you're going to try and make each scenario?
Or realistic.
Movie review.
Yes, we're doing Unplugged.
What year are we going to be?
It's 1987, so it was the first year I was working really properly with you. So your opinions will probably
creep in,
filter into it.
What movies we thinking? What type of movies?
I remember, because I don't look at the list till I do it. In fact, I'm doing it this very afternoon.
No, but no. When do you start the never-ending tour?
I start a new tour. I start the Cranium of Curiosities.
Love it.
It starts on the 28th of January in Perth.
Now, how many dates on this next zillion day tour?
That will go from the end of January, off and on. I avoid the school holidays, but off and on. That'll go through until mid-September. Then I'll go to the UK, and that'll take me through until March, April of 26, maybe.
God help me.
And then depending on what mood I'm in, I might come back and do some more gigs. So yeah, it could be 2, 3 years, maybe 2.5.
And by that time, they will have finished writing Stitches versus Terrifier.
To bring us full circle, 1987, Tone, you are going to be talking about those films. And to bring us full circle, it says here when you Google best film of 1987, it is, of course, come on, Tone, which one are they going to say? You're going to get this.
I don't know.
1987?
Yeah.
Is it Blue Thunder?
It is Full Metal Jacket, my friend.
Blue Thunder, 1980, I think.
Oh, was it?
Earlier, maybe 82.
And so nice to